Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome back to our IXION Let's Play, where despite being stalked by the PIRANESI, things feel relatively under control. We have a counter to pretty much all of its weapons, at least as far as we can tell so far, and our scientists have come up with a plan to actually destroy it, though it does involve a major sacrifice. I've got a couple of plans with regards to how we're going to proceed with that, though overall, if things continue as they are right now, I'm feeling pretty good. But that probably means that things won't continue as they are right now. Folks, if you've been enjoying this series, if you would like to see it to its conclusion, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know by leaving those likes and comments down below. They always make a big difference in letting me know what people are enjoying on the channel, letting me know what I should do more or less of, and letting me know how I should adjust my approach or pointing out things that I may have missed. And on that note, I just want to take a quick look around because there was a concern that one of the sectors... okay, no, it looks like we're good. I think what might have happened was that the yellow for neutral was misread as the next status down for working conditions, because if I recall correctly, in the comment section of the previous episode, there was a concern that one of our sectors was actually seeing unfavorable working conditions, just extra hours, but it does look like we're okay across the board there, which I wanted to make sure we double check because, of course, poor working conditions results in more dangerous accidents, and we cannot afford the loss of life, especially when, you know, we're being hunted down by missiles and stuff like that. So that's all well and good, though there is something going on in Sector 2, so why don't we go ahead and investigate this, and then we'll let time move forward and make sure everyone is housed and well fed. I'm not sure what these warnings are about. I don't remember them from the end of the previous episode, but we'll check in on everything and we'll move forward with our plans involving pulsars and PIRANESI, I suppose. But what's going on over here? Don't talk about it. Don't talk about what? Administrator. Oh geez. A small group of crew members have been meeting secretly and fighting against each other. Ah, Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club, of course. It seems to have had a positive impact on their morale. They have submitted a project proposal for an exo-fighting dome. It could be a good idea to develop this. It might provide wider benefits. Alright, so I could pledge to build it within 40 cycles. I was kind of hoping to a degree to avoid it, though I do see some of you were suggesting we chase after it in the comments again, and it is something that could go a very long way, especially with that -2 stability we just got as a result of fear, and the -2 to stability from being in this system as well. Rather than a usual -1, we got hit by a -2, right? So having the +2 to stability from the exo fighting dome would be huge, and because we already have train stations across all of our sectors, at least the ones we've built so far, we'd actually get that +2 across the board with the exo fighting dome built in just one sector. I don't want to do it within 20 cycles in case the resources are needed elsewhere, or in case I'm not able to reposition some of our buildings and make use of the 5 sectors, and I need a 6th one, and you know, that needs a lot of adjustment and stuff. I feel like 20 cycles is very tight for that. I don't want to shut down the club because I cannot afford another hit to morale. I cannot afford another hit to people's overall happiness and stability, right? So I guess I'll pledge to construct it, but let's go for 40 cycles. And if we miss that mark again, just as a reminder, well, at least typically in the past, it hasn't hurt our stability. It just hits us with a -2 trust for a little while. It's like, if I recall correctly, it's just like a lump sum negative to trust, which we can very quickly gain back as long as stability is in the positive. So hopefully that's the worst case scenario. Hopefully we don't have to come across it, but it seems as though we are in fact going to be building an exo fighting dome eventually. I'll pledge to construct one within 40 cycles. I was kind of hoping to avoid that, just to see if there's like a hidden achievement or something with regards to not building that, with regards to not being, let's call it, desperate enough to need that +2, but it seems as though we now have an objective kind of forcing us to do it. Again, I could still opt not to, I suppose, though with 40 cycles, we have some time to think about it. It's been pointed out that what we could do is down over here, we could probably get rid of some of these guys and fit it over here instead. If I look for stability and the exo fighting dome, it would fit here, with some empty space around it, some really janky empty space around it. But what we could do is we could put this down over here, and then we could get the waste recycling facilities down over here instead. If I take a look at the waste treatment center, sorry, not recycling facilities, we could probably fit, I think we'd only be able to fit one, right? I don't think we'd be able to fit that many. Where's my exo fighting dome? If I get you right up against the wall, and right up over here, that gives us how many spots? Right up to the road, and then I can't get a count. Oh, there we go. We got a count right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up to the road, and then 5. Okay, fair enough. if I take a look at my factories here, we go, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we just have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by X left over, which is obviously not enough for another waste treatment center. So I mean, again, a bit of hesitation there. Some of you were pointing out that we actually don't necessarily need these guys to this extent. Maybe we don't need 4 of them, maybe we just need 1 of them active, right? We don't necessarily have enough waste actually coming through, because, for example, this waste treatment center right now isn't actually doing anything. It doesn't have enough waste to do anything, though the plan is to add more people to this sector, to all of these buildings, so that we produce more waste eventually, right? So it's a bit of a juggling act right now, and I'm not 100% sure which way I want to juggle it, so to speak. I don't think we'd be able to fit the Exo Fighting Dome anywhere else. I don't think we have the space for it in terms of like even making adjustments. Like for example over here, even though I agree, you know, maybe we don't need both of these guys, I wouldn't be able to replace them with the Exo Fighting Dome, unfortunately, because this, you know, it's massive. Actually, I say that. Nah, we wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't be able to pull this off. So yeah, it'll either be in Sector 5 at the expense of, you know, 3 waste treatment centers with, you know, 1 surviving down over here, so it would need to be moved. So either that, or we do open Sector 6 and get the Exo Fighting Dome over here, have this hooked up with the train station and stuff as well. We just have to be wary about our worker count, right? Because obviously 40 workers, if I recall correctly, immediately get transferred over to the new sector. That should be okay. Sector 5 can afford to lose 40 workers. In fact, it only needs 109 workers right now. Really? Again, we got to keep in mind that the nuclear power plants and stuff, if they get turned on, will need more workers here, but it looks like we got the wiggle room. Either way, we have 40 cycles to think about it, so I want to hold off on it right now. Obviously, 40 cycles includes the actual construction, not just the placing of the building. We have to finish it in 40 cycles, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't take that many resources. It takes 450 alloys. We got, you know, thrice as much. It takes 9 electronics. We're well past that number. It just needs 20 workers and 40 power. So we're comfortably able to build it. It's just a matter of where. If you have any thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We might get to it this session, in which case I obviously wouldn't have been able to read your comments. But if we don't get to it this session, then I'll take a look at the comments and make a decision accordingly. Because yeah, so far the suggestion is over here, like I was saying, though let's not forget, we do have an entire additional sector we could use, and Sector 5 could still house quite a few more people. Right now, it has a population capacity twice of what it's actually housing, and you know, if we keep finding more chronic pods, like we already have another 1,000 people coming through. If we send them all to Sector 5, you know, there you go. That's a lot more waste throughput, and that could itself kind of solve the quote-unquote problem with regards to these guys' lack of functionality. And the other option is to have 2 waste treatment centers down over here, potentially. Sorry, just going through all the options over here. I think it's kind of necessary when you're being hunted down by a machine that wants to kill you. But we could alternatively put, you know, 2 of these guys down over here. I think that would fit. If I put you right up against the wall there, then I could put another one over here, and the stockpile would need to move. But if we remove these guys and replace them with the Exo Fighting Dome, right, then we'll have plenty of room to fit stockpiles along the bottom over here if we felt it necessary. That's an option. Okay, cool. So we got a couple of options. I'll give it a handful of cycles before I pull the trigger on anything. For now, though, let's go ahead and pull the trigger on something completely different. Over in Sector 1, we're going to, no, not in Sector 1. Where was it? Sector 3, I believe? Yes. Here we're going to go ahead and build an additional science ship, folks. Again, our bomb of a plan involves investigating PSR B1257 plus 12A, which is the pulsar. It has been noted as a dangerous mission, and so I would not be surprised if whichever science ship goes in to investigate, much like the one that went in to investigate the PIRANESI, is doomed. Unfortunately, we get Einstein. Well, why do we get like the good names now, as opposed to, like, you know, throughout the rest of our playthrough? Light bulb, that one really set me off. But no, you know what? Between the 2 of them, oh geez, this is not a judgment statement, but I think Fermi is like just, I don't know, just cooler and more relevant when you're kind of, wow, they're both relevant traveling through space. And given what we discovered, oh my goodness, this is gonna look. We built the Einstein knowing that it was headed to a suicide mission, and so it's going to stay its course. Why the cool names gotta come? Why do they gotta come now? When it's sacrifice season. What's that about? Okay, looks like homelessness is actually an issue. How do I not remember this from last session? Did I just turn a blind eye to the situation? Okay, let's take a look at population management really quickly. Sector 4, what's going on over here? Can we send some non-workers over? We can indeed. I could send quite a few, actually. We could send like 100 non-workers over because...
Cyber attack launched by the PIRANESI has disabled several mess halls.
Excuse me? Okay, well, as expected, things are getting a bit dicier. So a bunch of mess halls have been shut down. Do I then need additional mess halls, or do I need to do something here? Building not powered. Next service in doesn't say. One required to feed all crew members in sector 1 per sec. Is it just for this meal cycle? Are we going to miss 2 meal cycles? Like, what's the deal over here? Do I need to build an additional mess hall to make up for the missing mess hall? Because it's not all sectors. It's just sector 2, sector 3, and sector 4 that have been hit. Do I demolish them and rebuild them? I guess that's an option. The meal cycle is not right now, so let's dismantle this building, and let's go ahead and build... Oh. Okay, that scared me for a second. It was just not an option to build the mess hall there. that was suboptimal. Let's go ahead and put this mess hall over here, just because we can line things up a bit more nicely now, I suppose. Because we can't fit a building in there with the 2 tiles. And while this is a bit further from the... From the actual food stockpile, that's fine. Let's pop you down, yes, nicely over here. So we have this little corridor, this alleyway over here. Sure, that'll be auto-built because we get the free one, right? And it is operational. Okay, excellent. Sector 3, let's go ahead and do the same thing up over here. Should be the same results. Let's dismantle you. Down you go. And let's build a replacement up like so. Cool, that should be good there. And obviously it's very possible that these guys immediately get deactivated as well, but it's not costing me anything to do this. Did I? Yes, dismantle that. What's the deal here? Are you not? Something's different here. It's being dismantled. We have access to a free mess hall, but I need to wait until this is actually gone before I can replace it. Nonetheless, you'll see the other sectors have been saved from their issue. Okay, cool. We got solutions for everything. We got solutions for everything so far, I should say. Now, back to the task at hand. 201 from Sector 4. So let's get 201... only non-workers from Sector 4 to Sector 5, where again we can, produce more waste and use more waste. So let's start this migration. I wonder if I should do like 250 or something. Sector 4, what do you got? 660 non-workers. Like, what are they doing here? Nothing. We got 88 colonists as well. They can stay here. Sector 4 is where all the movement and stuff happens, right? So they can stay here. So let's say short 250. Don't want to overdo it either. What's our difference here? 784 versus 992. I guess the difference is 201, right? The game literally told us that. 201, that doesn't make sense. 202? 201. 2... What? Okay, sure. If the game says 201, the game says 201. I'm just looking at housing capacity versus population. 784 plus 201 is 985. Our population would still be over by a little bit compared to our housing capacity. Right, 985. Yeah, what? Okay, anyway, look, I'll follow the game's logic. 201, maybe I'm missing something there, but 201, only non-workers from Sector 4 to Sector 5. Start that migration. And then we have in Sector 1 a surplus of 43. How many workers have we got in Sector 1? 376. How many do we need? 255. Okay, so if I send those 40 over, we'd still be in the 300 plus. We'd be in 333. Yeah, which should be fine. So let's send these 43 workers. Where are we? From Sector 1 to Sector 5, right? 43 only workers. Start that migration. That should keep these guys still optimal. And it should give Sector 5 additional workers to work the power plants and stuff, while also adding to the population to produce more waste. Okay, just a couple of moving parts over here. Did you... Hold on, did you get deactivated? Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. I don't see a marker for you, but let's make sure this gets taken care of as well. Put the mess hall down like so. There you go. Cool. Oh, this one actually needs to be built. That's strange. The others were fine, but this one needs to be built. I mean, that's okay. We got alloys on hand, right? We'll be okay. But I just want to make sure no one's actually suffering from food troubles. The ship is going to be built. We are collecting alloys here. Sorry, not alloys, polymers here. It'll come slowly. Yeah, there we go. And there's the mess hall. I guess it didn't need to be dismantled. I don't know what happened there. It didn't get dismantled, and at the same time, it's got its power back as well. So maybe I panicked more than I needed to.
Population transfer complete.
Oh, this is a different issue. One active mess hall is required. Oh, no. It is the very same issue. What's wrong with this mess hall? Look out. Just to play it safe, let's dismantle this one. And let's replace it, just to play it safe. Oh, this is Sector 3. God damn, what is wrong with me, man? Cancel destruction. My bad. All over the place here. Sector 2, that's this one. It's because they're in the same position, it threw me off. Alright, let's get this one built up again. My apologies. There we go. This one's been removed, and now we can replace it. I knew there was one that was stubborn, and I guess I just mixed up which one it was. Alright, cool. So we're good over here. Sector 3 is being worked on. Sector 1. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell the Chronic Center over here to send workers and non-workers alike to Sector 5, because we're just going to get increased homelessness over here, whereas Sector 5 has plenty of room, right? If we take a look at population management, Sector 5 has a population of 1393. It has about 1,000 spots, and hopefully this works as I expect it to. If we keep this open for a moment here. Where are these numbers going? 1016 in Sector 1. Let me see here. One more wakes up. Okay, they're still going to Sector 1. What if I set this to 2,000? What does that do? Just want to make sure things are operating, are automated as best as possible. Where's this next guy gonna go? Looking for the changing number here. Did I miss it?
Warning. Entering PIRANESI drone controlled
Wait.
area.
Hang on a second. What happened there? Why was I not given a warning about this? I got the warning about the about the hack. I didn't get a warning about this. We're taking a hit to our hull integrity right now. We gotta go. We gotta go right now. Could go up this way. Could go over this way. We'll spend some time within the radius of their drones, but not too long. Yeah, let's move. No time to waste. 2.9 cycles. We got enough battery power for that and everything, so we should be good. Let's make our move. Yeah, let's go for it. Go for it. Maybe I missed the warning on that, but that could have gone bad if I hadn't heard that second warning. But no, we're on our way now. Hull integrity will be hurting for a little bit of time, but overall I think we'll be okay. I do believe all of our EVA airlocks are active right now. Just want to make sure. Yeah, they are all active.
New coordinates have been set.
The ones at -120.
Moon is now moving towards the PIRANESI.
Excuse me? No, we're not. Okay, again, just more fear tactics.
Badly damaged.
There's a solar panel taking a hit there. That's okay. That's okay. We can repair that right now while we're traveling. I do believe that is an option. Repairs in progress. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. We still have a bit of wiggle room, but that is obviously terrifying. Task in progress. Back to the interior over here. All right, you know what? I like this. Things are definitely getting a bit more tense, and I'm a fan of that. -165 balance per cycle. That's scary. We're away from the drone swarm, so that's good. But obviously, we can't actually do any repairs or anything right now. So the concern lives on. We're in the middle of a meal cycle, and people are all being fed, so that's good. We got a couple of accidents going down, 10 crew members injured, nobody dead. Okay, excellent. And I'm still...
PIRANESI has launched a missile targeting the Tiqqun.
Another missile. Okay, that's okay. That's easily tackled because we have these countermeasures available, and I want to make sure we launch them immediately so that we start the construction of additional one immediately as well. We should really keep our distance from the PIRANESI too, because, again, if it keeps getting closer as it launches missiles, if it launches a salvo of like 3 or 4 at one point in time and they're too close, I might not be able to build and launch countermeasures quickly enough to counter, well, their attack, right? So I gotta stay on the ball with regards to moving around. I also kind of want to make sure they don't hit too many planets. I'm gonna start to run out of places I can go to without suffering that -120 to my hull balance per cycle. This is also kind of scary. This is kind of scary. Let's take a look at the interior view over here. These guys are up to what? Where are my EVA airlocks? They're currently building. Okay, we're almost done repairing the solar panel. Yikes. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Because once this is done, we'll be just fine. We've almost arrived at our destination as well. We'll be A-okay. Nothing to worry about, folks. Nothing to panic about. We got an accident in Sector 2. This is being taken care of automatically. Excellent. Still concerned about the people being woken up. Where are they being sent? Okay, looks like they're being sent to Sector 5 now. I just saw the Sector 5 total population go up a little bit. Sector 1 has a bit of homelessness. We'll go ahead and move those 9 people over from Sector 1 to Sector 5. Let's get, what is it, 9 only workers. We can afford to do that, I think. Yes, we can. It's a nice worker count right now, but the 333. But hey, 9 workers, Sector 1 to Sector 5, start that migration. Just to make sure no one's homeless. Okay. Back to the exterior view as we arrive at our new destination. If we take a look at the system map, we're all good. And if we take a look at hull integrity, we're all good. Okay. Oh boy. Couple of moments of panic there, but overall we're good. Overall we're good. Let's go ahead and send the Einstein, as the plan was, to investigate the pulsar. 2.2 cycles it'll take to get there. And again, I hope they survive, but I have my doubts. Because the introduction of this mission was posed as a dangerous one. It was along the lines of like, oh, you know, it could hurt the PIRANESI, but it could also hurt the Tiqqun. So we're sending a like the suicide crew, so to speak, right? Like the suicide squad. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Maybe I'll get demonetized. But we're sending a team on a mission that we're fairly confident they're not going to come back from. All I can think about is the plot to Armageddon. God, what a silly movie. But nonetheless, this is the call here. I'm wondering if we want to go and pick up, you know, some of the alloys and stuff that are available over here. We're topped up on alloys, but you know, we could pick up some more electronics perhaps. Not the end of the world. We're right there. We're right there. Maybe it's time to actually move again. Our batteries are almost topped up. And if we move again, we could come up to here, a bit closer to the pulsar perhaps, maybe a bit more dangerous, but also maybe able to recover the Einstein, and at the same time a little bit further away from the PIRANESI, right? We could also go up to 12D, just increasing the gap between us. Yeah, sure, let's go ahead and do that. 12D, how long will that take? That is 2.7 cycles. We definitely have enough juice for that. Let's go ahead and make our move. Let's go. If it wants to chase us, let it chase us. We're going to keep increasing the gaps. We're going to keep, you know, blowing up its missiles before they come too close, and I haven't seen the benefit of the drone jammer yet. Take a look at, sorry, not the interior, but the exterior view. We have the drone jammer, disrupts drone targeting systems by flooding BMS frequencies with false data. Ooh. Now I'm curious, and if anybody knows, feel free to let me know, but if we didn't have the drone jammer, would the drones follow us as well? Like, would they be homing in on us? And because of our jamming capabilities, these guys are only using our last known location? Maybe? I'm not sure. That's entirely an assumption. There's no reason to think that's how it's working. But I gotta know what the drone jammer is doing. It must be doing something. Another incident. Let's take a look at this accident. Just want to make sure that it's going to fix itself automatically. And this mess hall is still deactivated, but... oh, do I actually have to dismantle and rebuild you? Because if this is from the same hack a while ago, then I think... Oh, what's this? Magnetized dust clouds surround the station. Our power supply is at risk. I don't remember this being an issue previously. I don't recall ever seeing this warning. And maybe I'm mistaken, but that doesn't seem familiar. Nonetheless, if this is from the same hack earlier, then we might need to dismantle and rebuild this mess hall, though it does look like our one mess hall is able to feed everybody, because one food feeds 20 crew, 51 is required to feed 1008, and this is able to stockpile more than 51, right? So I think we're probably okay without the second one. I'll leave it in its current dismantled state, or in its current inoperative state, and we'll make an adjustment later on if we feel the need to. Okay, back to our system map over here, because the pulsar is ready to be investigated. Einstein, what you got for me? Summary of information on PSR B1257-12A. According to the Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate, the pulsar at the center of the system is the key to defeating the PIRANESI. Transmission from the Einstein's crew. We are in orbit of PSR B1257 plus 12A. The pulsar is huge. Preliminary analysis confirms the forecasts from the Sector 1 Scientific Syndicate. We will do everything we can to find a way to use the power of the pulsar against the Piranesi. Alright, analyze the pulsar. It'll take 10 cycles to do so. The Einstein team will carry out numerous analyses to find a way to activate the pulsar and protect the Tiqqun. Analyze away. Analyze away 10 cycles. That's going to take a decent bit of time. That's going to take a decent bit of time. And around that time is when I want to work on establishing our exo fighting dome as well, right? Because, I mean, it won't take 20 cycles to unlock an additional sector and build the exo fighting dome. We'd have to hurriedly place, like, oh, what are they called? I keep forgetting the names of some of these, like, core buildings. We'd have to hurriedly place the mess hall, the stockpile, like the small stockpiles that hold the food and alloys, and the workshop as well. But, you know, if we kind of took an approach similar to here, we'd be okay. Big central road, or even similar to here, right? Because we know how big the exo fighting dome is. We know where we can kind of tuck it away. What else would go into that sector, though? What else would go in there? Because we have a Sector 5 over here serving quite nicely as a population specialized sector. And if I take a look at the exo fighting dome, it is also population specification. I guess we could put Hull Temple there. That doesn't make a difference, though. Because the Hull Temple only helps the sector it's in, I believe. If I take a look at the tech tree over here, Hull Temple, do you have any upgrades that help spread that? I guess we could boost our hull integrity if we research all the way down to B it, as opposed to relying just on that +1 to stability. I guess that's an option. I should also think about what else we're doing with our science right now. We're kind of sitting stagnant here. Again, wondering if this will be revealed shortly, wondering also if there's going to be more added to the Piranesi's research, path over here. So being a little hesitant to waste science on things that I'm not planning on building anytime soon. The Exo Fighting Dome, if I do upgrade you, History of Violence gives an additional +1 stability when the station has more than a certain threshold. And High Capacity Terraces does the same thing, but a different threshold, 5,000 crew. We'll be getting there. So this is in total a +4 to stability, after we wake all these chronic pods up, which is no small matter. Is that, I assume, extended to each sector connected via train station? I assume so. Okay, fair enough. So then for that we'll need DLS Center upgrades, total monitoring. DLS Center, where you at? You're up over here somewhere. Total monitoring gives us what? Oh, propaganda gets... Oh, I should have looked at these upgrades a while ago. And this needs predictive behavior modeling. So we need to research this. 27 science isn't that bad. To get total monitoring for the extra stability there. Oh, these are some good upgrades. I really should have... I really should have looked at these sooner. Some of these are quite good. Nonetheless, we'll focus on total monitoring for the time being. Shouldn't take too long. I think it's 1 cycle plus 1 cycle. We'll have enough science left over to keep me feeling comfortable. And if we're lucky, then our investigation of the pulsar will leave some science to be picked up as well. The Piranesi is still chasing after us, but it hasn't really accomplished much. These drone swarms are keeping these guys busy, and the next time it launches anything, we've got a pretty decent gap over here. If it gets too close without doing anything, we'll go ahead and hop on over to here, because what would be ideal, I guess, is if I can stay away from the storm, because evidently now, maybe I didn't notice it previously, but now at least, it is dangerous for our power supply, right? And I cannot afford to have like a bunch of batteries shut down, needing to recharge, while we also might need to urgently move from one spot to another. That does not seem ideal to me. That does not seem ideal to me. You know what, here's what we're going to do. Back to the interior. I'm going to go ahead and start dismantling some of these guys. Because they're not active anyway. Let's dismantle you, and let's dismantle you. And if need be, again, we can establish 2 waste treatment centers down over here. We'd be able to dismantle these guys quickly enough. They're operating now, but, who's to say we're going to keep that flow? Where's our waste stockpile? Oh, it's this one, right, of course. Yeah, I just don't know. Maybe 2 is enough. 2 has been sustainable for so long, right? So
PIRANESI has launched a missile targeting the Tiqqun.
not a concern. Let's go ahead and launch a countermeasure right away. and deal. Again, I'm not worried about these missiles, at least for the time being. But yes, back to the topic at hand. I think we'd be fine with just 2 waste treatment centers, as some of you pointed out. Like, we don't have the waste throughput, and even with more housing over here, you know, I think we can relatively consistently get 2 going, but more than that, highly unlikely maybe. And we avoid opening Sector 6 until it becomes absolutely necessary. Because don't forget, having another sector is an additional investment in many ways. You got to clear the space out, etc., etc., etc. Lots of moving parts. And I don't mind doing it, but I also want to be very wary of the fact that, you know, we need a DLS center. We got to get propaganda going. We got to do this. We got to do that just to make sure their stability is okay. There's all sorts of moving parts, right, when you open up a new sector. So if I can delay that by even a little bit, I think that would be the right call. Let's go ahead and make sure that resource management over here in Sector 5 is minimizing how many alloys we're holding onto, and Sector 4 is chasing as many as it can, because otherwise we won't actually be able to dismantle these guys, which seems to be the current situation. Geez. Okay, let's flip you to alloys, I suppose. This will take some figuring out. The Exo Fighting Dome takes 450 alloys. So as we dismantle these guys, we'll have enough, and then we'll be able to spend it all up over here. Okay, fine. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. But back to the tech tree, over to our DLS center to get total monitoring activated. Research that. Get that +1 to stability from propaganda, which I'm pretty sure is active everywhere. Where is our one neutral spot? This one, right? Pretty sure we have propaganda here as well. Yes, +2 right now. An extra +1 will go a pretty long way. So I'm glad we came across that. That'll be quite handy. Still waking people up, are we? 912 chronic pods. Slowly being shifted back and forth. Oh, and we, of course, still have a few left over. I guess not anymore. Okay. Sector 5 is no longer specialized in industry. Damn. Right, of course. I mean, it's not the end of the world. What does industry specialization do for us? It produces more waste, if I recall correctly. Batteries last longer, and I think Tier 2 produces more waste as well. Juggling act, man, this juggling act. But it's okay, what's the point of a specialization that we weren't even taking full advantage of, I guess? We'll see again, it's all experimentation. We could also always, if we have some regrets, we could put these guys back over here, and when we open Sector 6, which will inevitably happen, we can establish the Exo Fighting Dome here instead. Like, there's no concern there. Like, we have options, we know what they are. We know they're viable. We know we have room for them, so I'm not too worried about that. Let's actually go ahead and get rid of the road over here. Let's go ahead and commission the dismantling of these 2 as well, I suppose, just so we can get to work. Let's get you dismantled. Gonna put the Exo Fighting Dome over here. Kind of makes sense, right? It's, the more I think about it, the more I think it makes sense, because it's also population centered, and we've got Tier 1 over here already, so if we can get it up to Tier 2, I'm curious what else we'll unlock. So it's probably worth it. Probably worth it. And again, don't forget, with the train station everywhere, that stability boost is going to spread around anyway, so that's all well and good. But yes, I'm just waiting for this thing to finish its last production cycle over here before I order this to be dismantled as well, because might as well not waste... You know, maybe this is a sunk cost fallacy in action over here, but might as well not waste any of this. I noticed, though, alloys are no longer maxed out. We have plenty of wiggle room. We got plenty of iron as well, but neither of these are currently maxed out. So,
Entering PIRANESI drone controlled area.
Okay, fair enough. I guess we no longer get warnings about the drones, which is not very handy. At least we get a warning when we're in the zone. But I wish I'd known that was coming, because I would have moved a little bit sooner. I was just thinking about all the iron that's available over here as well. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and move the Tiqqun towards 12J, because there's plenty of iron over here as well. We'll mine and collect some of that iron just to make sure that we are we're doing okay. I could do 12G instead as well, I suppose. Gives me the chance to go to 12J later. Because again, the Piranesi is only going to come closer and closer. So if we go to 12G, then by the time it's close enough, we'll move over to 12J. Versus if we go to 12J, by the time it's close enough, I can't really go to 12G anymore because I'll be going past it, and I don't think we'll be gaining that much distance from it. So to 12G it is. 2.2 cycles will be A-okay. Yes, make that move. And once we get there, we'll pick up some of the local iron just to make sure we have that surplus, right? Make sure these guys are not avoided. Yeah, should be all good. A little bit of mining left to do here, right? 145. Yeah, sure. So let's go ahead and launch the Gluttony and Barnacle, I suppose. And we'll get Santa's Sleigh and Quicksilver. Actually, let's get a few of these guys picking it up. They'll lag behind, won't they? Yeah, they will. Hang on. Bring all these guys back. Bring you guys back. Because what's going on is they're seeing this as the optimal place to go. They're not considering where we're going to end up. So I'll wait until we're closer to 12G, if not at it. And then we'll give them that order. But back to the interior. It's literally the opposite. Back to the interior to make sure we are staying on top of this as well. We're not maxed out over here yet. Why are you not being dismantled? Come on, chop, chop, get to work. Up over here, almost done. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm still comfortable with our numbers. I'm still comfortable with our numbers, but I don't want to ever look up at the alloy counter and go, why is it at 0? For example, with ice. Ice is currently at 0. Now, fortunately, we have a huge runway as far as the water we've already collected, but, that's not good. That's not good. I need to stay on top of that stuff. It should not come as a surprise. And while water and ice are a bit of a concern, iron is like 10 times as much of a concern, because when we run out of ice, again, we still have plenty of water, and despite, if we don't have water, we have plenty of mushroom walls and stuff, right? Ooh. The Monster's Awakening has been completed. We've investigated the pulsar, but before we go into that, yes, I want to make sure we are ready to send ships out to deal with, I guess, iron and ice alike. These guys are coming up this way. Let's go ahead and... They're probably still a little too close to the iron up over here. Where's the closest ice? Up over there, eh? There's some up over there. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we'll wait until our arrival. Let's go ahead and make sure that this thing is deprioritized. And I mean, what I could do is I could very easily just say high priority for all these, right? Do that. And for the ice, let's go ahead and get you as a top priority. And you as a top priority. And then what we can do is actually chase after silicon as well, because that's kind of getting on the low end too. All right. Get you guys as high priority as well. Okay. So we're at a position now where we do need to start acquiring some resources. Again, electronics are not as urgent as, for example, polymer, for which we're covered, and alloys and ice. But let's go ahead and get the Gluttony and the Barnacle chasing after iron. They should go to the right spot now because I've prioritized it. Let's get the Roshmore and Omnitron chasing after silicon. And actually, no, let's get Roshmore and Omnitron chasing after ice. And we'll get the Cataphract chasing after silicon. I think that's a decent balance between the lot. Let's go ahead and get these guys chasing after iron. Let's get you chasing after silicon. Let's get you chasing after ice. And hopefully they'll pick it up from the right spots, and we'll be okay to go in no time. We have a bunch of these guys as well, of course, but I guess what I could do is I could get these guys like this. And I suppose I could get this. Sure. And how about that? Just to make sure we have a decent spread. And again, iron is primarily needed in Sector 2, right? Because that's where it gets processed. So that sounds good to me. Launch everybody. Just want to make sure they're all headed in the right direction. No, kind of headed in the wrong direction there. For what? To pick up ice, because there's no other ice to pick up right now. Am I reading that right? Seems to be the case. That is a very, very long way to go. By the time they're back, I'm sure there'll be ice available up over here. So let's tell you not to chase after ice for the time being. We'll get to doing it as soon as we get this sorted. Yeah, that makes much more sense. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We're almost at 12G. These guys are making their way over. This should be okay, I hope. We have the silicon much closer to us, actually. Don't avoid you. And don't avoid you either. Some to collect over there. I have prioritized these guys, but currently only mining is available. Let's go ahead and deprioritize the collection up over here. So that collection will hopefully happen from over here first to clear these guys out, and then we can move up over here. Yeah, okay, that sounds good to me. Ooh, a little bit of micromanagement there. Taking a quick look at the interior again, just to make sure that Sector 5 is seeing progress. It is not. What's the deal here right now? Why are you not being dismantled? Demolition. What is going on? What is going on? Is it because of the waste? And we have nowhere to store it. Yes, that's probably it. Okay. Let's then do what? temporarily get you stockpiling waste just to empty everything out, I guess. Whoop, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, that was the issue there. This guy is almost done. I want to make sure we command its dismantling immediately, right, so that it doesn't collect a bunch of waste that we then have to find a place to put. Come on, come on. There we go. And dismantle you. Yes, please. All the alloys will end up over here, slowly but surely. 143 alloys, my goodness. We'll have to shift some of it around. I wonder where else it could go. Sector 2, you have room for alloys? Well, you're topped up. Sector 3, you have room. I suppose we could push some out there. Sector 4 is almost topped up. Sector 5. Why do you have room for 840? Because you're stockpiling alloys as well. Which is fine for now, because we're going to empty it out eventually. Okay. Just, yeah, a little nervous. Just a little nervous. We have 19 cycles to get it done. I'm sure we'll be fine. Got to keep an eye on it still. I'm glad we started making progress over here ahead of time, because otherwise it might have gotten a little tight. I don't want to... I don't think I want to fail this objective. I see no point in failing it if I'm so now dead set on building the exo fighting dome, right? So, with that in mind, let's head on down to the pulsar to see what's going on over here as the Piranesi very ominously floats by the Einstein. What's going on? Transmission from the Einstein's crew. We have taken many readings and conducted a comprehensive analysis of PSR B1257 plus 12A's activities. We are able to submit a proposal that adapts the Tiqqun's architecture and allows the hull to work like a Faraday cage. We have also developed a theoretical device that we have named Icarus 3. This device would allow us to induce a pulse from PSR B1257 plus 12A. To proceed, the Tiqqun's tech lab will need to analyze the remaining data and fabricate construction patterns. Alright, so we got some science ready for extraction, which is great, that'll come in handy, and new tech upgrades for the Piranesi, I assume, Faraday cage upgrade for the Piranesi, and Icarus 3 probe upgrade for the Piranesi as well. Alright, and the data listening protocol. Why can you not build Icarus 3? Because you're waiting for the technology. Okay, that's fine. So far, things looks pretty calm, actually. Alright, that's good. What's this now?
The Piranesi has activated more subsystems. Its threat level has increased. He will attack more frequently.
Okay, duly noted. Thanks for the heads up. I had a feeling things would get worse before they get better, obviously. Over to our tech lab, over to the Piranesi, and as predicted, we have a couple of options here. Let's go with the Faraday cage and the Icarus 3 probe. So this is interesting. I assume at least some of this involves external construction, right? We have to be wary of that, and we also have to be wary of what our probe launcher is assigned to doing. I assume a probe that can be sent into a pulsar to trigger an explosion. Yeah, that doesn't sound very safe. I'm not sure. I feel as though we might need to actually build this probe at our probe launcher, which is also where we build our what's the word I'm looking for? Our countermeasures, right? And our regular probes. So just got to keep an eye on that. What's the deal over here? You got to stockpile some electronics now, buddy. Flip you back to electronics. There we go. This will all be okay. This will all be okay. Let's get a waste recycling center, waste treatment center. I keep saying recycling, built up over here. Because again, we can still fit 2 down here. We just have to make sure this thing is empty, right? To which end I might want to make sure this thing is assigned something else so that when they're emptying alloys out, they're doing it from here first. Not that it matters, because ultimately we can shift them around, right? Come on. This is top priority. Gonna pause this, I think. There's the Faraday cage technology unlocked. Okay, excellent. Go ahead and pause you, because I feel like everyone's distracted right now by this thing. Yeah, there we go. Now we're back to working on this. Okay, cool. Leave it be for the time being. We'll get back to this. We're not in a rush to have the waste treatment centers up and running or anything, right? So that's all well and good. Let's go ahead and take a look at our EVA airlock over here. Let's take a look at external construction, because I feel as though the Faraday cage is going to come from here. Wow. Okay. Everything's happening all at once. Okay, let's go ahead and launch our countermeasure to take care of the missile that's coming through. Let's go ahead and... Do we leave? Is it time to leave? It might be time to leave. This guy's getting awfully close. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get the Tiqqun moving up to 12J right now. Yes, make that move. 2.2 cycles. We got enough batteries, so we'll be fine on that front. And then as we're doing that, we should be able to keep resources flowing just as smoothly because, you know, we got plenty of resources up over here. Has the silicon been tapped? It has indeed. Has the ice been tapped? It has not. What's up with ice? What's up with ice? Down over here? Thought we were mining ice. Where is the Roshmore and the Omnitron? What are you guys up to? Coming down to here. Okay, this is ready for pickup, actually. Okay, cool. So, with that said, let's get what going? These guys are going to pick up the last little bit of silicon, going very close to the Piranesi over there. But yes, let's go ahead and get you guys working on ice, I suppose. I don't know if there's all that much to pick up right now, but hey, let's get to it, I suppose. There's some iron to be picked up over here, and we've finished Icarus 3 probe research as well. Okay, hold on. First of all, the thing that shocked me previously was 480 polymers. We might as well get started on the Faraday cage right now. We have plenty of carbon, but the production of those polymers is going to take a fair bit of time. So let's make sure that we're moving those resources as quickly as possible, right? So let's get the Faraday cage commissioned. Again, we don't see a loss in hull integrity, or a pause in hull repair, I should say, until all the resources are there and the construction has actually begun. So this is definitely the right call, I would say. Silicon is getting awfully low right now, so that's starting to become a bit of a concern. But iron remains my top concern. Back to the system map, as all the science here has been retrieved, which means we should probably take a look at our next step in the event chain there. But before I do that, I just want to make sure these guys are no longer high priority. I guess these guys are all so much closer, but there's so much iron to be picked up over here. The travel time is just ridiculous. All right, no more high priority over here. Hopefully these mining ships will get some work done over here, and the cargo ships will be able to pick stuff up from over here. We're almost at 12J. We got plenty of ice over here, plenty of iron over here. I really should deprioritize you. Oops. And for you as well, because we really ought to tap into these guys before we go this far away, right? The Piranesi is extremely close. But we have commissioned the Faraday cage. Going to take a quick look at our situation over here. Make sure you are, in fact, pulling in polymers. Yes, I want to make sure that Sector 4... Holy crap. Right, you don't actually have a room for it. Sector 2, trying to keep 10. Sector 3, what do we do with you, buddy? Here's what we're going to do. Sector 3, we're going to get you up to, let's say 80. Hopefully that'll keep a constant flow going, and so they'll arrive and they'll be immediately sent to the EVA airlocks, and hopefully we'll produce them a little bit faster as well. As mess halls have been deactivated once more. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. We know how to handle that. We know how to handle that. First of all, though, I wanted to see if there wasn't tech we could develop to speed up the polymer refinery a bit further. You know what? The chemical baths are probably not a bad idea. Just optimizing the throughput a bit more. 36 science isn't that bad. Let's go ahead and research that. That sounds good to me. We've got the Faraday cage going. We've got this going. That's all well and good. We've researched everything there is to research under the Piranesi. And separately as well, I meant to check this earlier, but is our colonization training center still getting work done? It is, yes. Do we have non-workers in Sector 3 still? We do, quite a few. Okay, great. I just want to make sure we're making progress on all fronts, because you never know when an emergency comes around, right? Okay, so with all that happening, let's close this transmission. And let's go ahead and take care of our mess hall situation. So let's go ahead and dismantle you. Do those alloys have anywhere to go? Yeah, we should be fine. And we'll replace you, and later on we might do the same thing with this guy, but for the time being we'll focus on you. So the replacement won't be free, but that's okay. Sector 2, there's the mess hall here. Go ahead and dismantle you. Again, they got to empty the food out first, but we got room for it, and we got to replace you. Sector 3, your mess hall over here. Let's dismantle you as well. Cool. Again, we got to get it done before the next meal cycle. We got plenty of time. We got plenty of time. We can relax. Dismantle this building as well. Cool. Let time move forward. I want to take care of this before we take a look at the pulsar again. I just want to make sure we're staying on top of all this stuff. Ice is coming through. Okay, good. Overall, we're looking okay. We got a decent amount of silicon as well. Fair enough. Okay. We're good. We're good. We'll be fine. I say nervously. We'll be fine. Back to the system map really quickly. Where is the Piranesi? It is scarily close, and you know what? It's actually launched another drone swarm. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Okay. The interior to our tech lab. Anything we can do to improve our mining ships. Make them move faster. Probably not a bad idea. Okay. Cargo ship. What's left here? Move faster. Krauss tachyon injector. A scary one, that, but it might be necessary. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough, fair enough. Fair enough. Sector 1, all clear here. Let's go ahead and build the mess hall if I can find it. Again, this will actually take a resource investment because it's not our free one, right? It'll take some time to build, but that's okay. We're making some progress. Making some progress. Here we go. Perfect. Pop the free one down over here. Excellent. And then down over here. What are we looking at? We're fine over here, actually. Oh, hang on a second. Crap. Right, we got to build our exozo. Damn. Would have completely forgotten about that because of just everything else that's going on. Let's get rid of the road up over here. And let's get our exo fighting dome right up over there. The only place to access it is from that top section, I think. Plenty of room for building stockpiles at the bottom. So I think that works out fine. Stockpiles to the side as well. I'm sure we'll find other things that could fit nicely. This isn't exactly what I had in mind for this sector, but let's not be complaining. Let's not be complaining. I just wonder if there's a better spot for it. What else could we use 2, 4, 6 grid spots for? Well, I guess one of these. That could go up there as well. Okay, so Hall Temple has a spot it could exist in. We've got the Legislative Strengthening Center, which I don't think we'll need because the stability basically never gets below 0 anymore. Memorials are... Oh, you can build one memorial... Oh, you know, I thought the... Since the beginning of our playthrough, I thought that we could only build one of each memorial across the entire station. Because you know how I can't build... like a tech lab, right? If I take a look at, what is it, space? No, maintenance? No. Factory? Yeah. You see how, like, I built one tech lab in the entire station, and so now I can't build another one? That's what I thought it meant for these memorials as well, but no, I can build a memorial per, like, one of each per sector. Okay, that changes quite a bit. Anyway. Sorry. I digress. 2, 4, 6 slots, right? These guys are 7 wide, unfortunately, so that's a bit of a bummer. We're 7 by 7, though, so we should have a spot available at the bottom there. 2, 4... No, we won't. That's 5. Okay, that's fine. Again, we're taking a different angle to solving stability issues, I suppose. What else could I fit there? What else could I fit there? More housing, obviously, right? We could always fit a bunch more housing over there, or over here, whichever we prefer. Factories, we couldn't fit... couldn't fit anything worthwhile. Oh, 6 by 15. I guess we could fit an electronics factory, though the road wouldn't work out, right? Of course. Okay, well, either way, that's a consideration for later. The main reason I was thinking about it was because I want to know if I want to put the fighting dome up against the nuclear power plants or up against the wall over here. And, you know, up against the nuclear power plants, I suppose, makes sense enough. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, we'll figure it out from there. We can always adjust this if need be. Sure, pop you down there. Let's go ahead and place a stockpile as well. A medium stockpile, I suppose. Can be popped down over here because that way we'll have... a decent place to stockpile waste. Only need one electronics there. And I'm hoping that this gets used up soon so we can actually build our 2 waste treatment facilities as well. That's what I'm thinking over here. Currently, though, the food situation is looking, what, kind of troubling? Yeah, because we still have some mess halls that need taken care of. And I just want to keep an eye on that. As we, of course, also... keep an eye on the provision of polymers up over here. I mean, again, I could very much switch these guys into producing polymers instead of electronics, right? That seems to be the need of the day. Electronics are perfectly fine. We have 110 stockpiled. We still have electronics factories operating as well. So why don't we go ahead and focus on polymers a little bit because they are urgently needed. Let's also go ahead and take a quick look at what? Our probe launcher here. Oh, okay. So I guess the new probe is not something we have to launch from here. I guess it is directly from the science ship, which I had a feeling because of how the event was kind of labeled and listed, but I just wasn't 100% sure. But where are we right now? Still emptying these guys out. Can we operate a little bit faster? Just a little bit faster. Because we got room for the food here. It just needs to be... There we go. Shifted over. Perfect. And now it'll be dismantled. That's all I need. That's all I need. Pop you down. Oop, pop you down over there. Cool. Sector 3, how are we looking? You're being worked on? Eventually. Fair enough. Now, here it's actually fair, because we don't have enough room in the stockpile. But I guess I could temporarily make you a food stockpile just to empty this thing out and replace it. I don't want people to starve. I don't want people to starve. Sector 1 has been taken care of, it looks like, so that's good. And Sector 3 is about to be taken care of as well. Yeah, we're good over here. We're good over here. Cool. And hey, we've seen once more the value of redundancies, right? Let's pop you down over there. Let's flip you back to waste. And we need to leave. We need to leave. We've picked up as much as we can. I guess we'll keep working these resources. We'll be fine. But let's make our way down to 12F. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Are we moving too slowly? I think we're moving too slowly. I don't mean in terms of physical movement from destination to destination. I mean, pretty soon, all of these planets are going to be hit by drone swarms, and we're not going to have anywhere where we can go without taking the negative 120 due to weather. And when that happens, as you can see, our balance per cycle is really bad, which is, by the way, another reason why I didn't want to open an additional sector until absolutely necessary. Because I don't need an additional negative to our balance per cycle, especially given everything else that's going on. But yes, back to my original point. If we don't go through the quest line quickly enough, then every planet is going to be hit with drone swarms, and we won't have anywhere to go. So I think we're ready to pull the trigger on the pulsar over here. Currently moving down over here. I just wanted to make sure that all the core stuff in the interior is taken care of. This guy is almost built. Yes, we've got almost all the resources. Plenty more to come through. Here, let's go ahead and get a road connection just for the purpose of construction set up over here. That's probably a waste. That's a waste. That's a waste. Another missile coming through. That's easy enough to deal with. I don't worry about the missiles. They're fine. They're fine. But if we take a look at this event over here, yeah, we're able to construct Icarus 3. The Einstein team will build Icarus 3, the explosive charge that will trigger PSR B1257 plus 12A and neutralize the Piranesi. So if it's just 5 more cycles of this threat, that's not all that bad. Let's construct Icarus 3, take those 5 cycles, and not waste any more time because, yeah, the realization has dawned on me that eventually we'll run out of planets to go to. Eventually. Another missile being taken care of. Down you go. Yeah, excellent. Look at this chaos, this sheer chaos. You guys are all carrying various resources. We're looking okay. Polymers are being completely drained, obviously. If we take a look at... every time I want to go to the interior, I don't mind getting an exterior view of the Tiqqun. It is a gorgeous ship. But I mean to go to the interior to investigate what? Our fighting dome over here is being built. Still a handful more resources to come through. Getting kind of tight, actually, truth be told. We have resources of it. Oh, actually, are we short on resources? Not system-wide, but locally, we might be a little short on resources. We need another 120, which we don't have. Okay, hang on a second. Sector 5, you're looking for alloys. Let's go for 120. Sector 4, you are aiming for, let's say 200. Let's be reasonable here. Just so that we can send those alloys over and make sure this work actually gets done. Fortunately, the drone bays will help out on that front, right? The drones, rather, I should say, will bring resources over a bit more quickly. Yikes! 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 This is definitely inefficient. Come on, come on! This construction is urgent. 8 cycles, we should be fine. More like 9 cycles, we should be fine. We should be fine. Speed time up a little bit over here. Is there anything else we want to research? That's the other question. Polymers are completely drained at this point in time, so... Oh, you know what? That's actually... We have one more countermeasure on hand. We have to remember that countermeasures take polymers as well. And they take 10, too. They're not like probes, which take only 3. They take 10. So we got to make sure that we stay, you know, on top of that as well. And knowing my luck, that's going to be a problem. That's not going to work out. Okay, just I'm noting it down for my own self as something I have to keep an eye out for. We are good for resources now, so let's go ahead and resource management, sector 5, set you back down to, let's say 50, right? That should be okay. Yeah, that should be fine. And we'll eventually dismantle this guy as well to get another nuclear, sorry, why did I say nuclear? Waste treatment facility over here. This is good, yeah. You're ready to be built now. So there's the construction bot making its way over. We got 7 cycles left to do it, so that'll be fine. And down over here, we got 2 cycles left for this. PIRANESI is very close. Okay, I think we have to leave right away again. We're getting further and further away from all of our ships, and I really hope they don't get damaged when traveling through these spots. I'm going to avoid the ice up over here, just to make sure no one's traveling that far away. Mining ships and stuff, they look like they're safe going through these zones, so that's okay. Oh, and would you look at that? Right, of course, we're blocked off from going here. I guess we could go up to 12H at this point in time, skirting right by the PIRANESI, and by the time we get there, we'll be ready to pull the trigger on the pulsar. Oh man, this is tense. This is tense, and folks, I cannot wait to see how it plays out next time. This is where we're calling it a session. Things are getting real tight, but I think we'll be fine. I'm a little worried because we got to get the Faraday cage done as well, right? It's not just about triggering the pulsar. We got to get the Faraday cage done as well, and that's going to take a lot of time. The production rate of polymers is extremely low, even with our waste treatment centers working towards it. We are, well, 3/4 of the way there as far as collecting the resources are concerned. So this is going to get real tight. We might run out of planets to run to, and that's when the countdown begins. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, makes a very big difference in just letting me know what people are enjoying on the channel, letting me know what I should do more or less of, and how I should go about approaching it. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.